Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Printings Alive. Today, we are joined by Paul Steed, who is on the other side of the water. He didn't like other side of the pond, so we changed it up. How you doing, Paul?
No. You are on the other side. I'm on the correct side. You're out in the colonies where you belong. Can we get this right?
Are we going to start off this way?
Sometimes people need to be reminded of their heritage, you know?
Is it not enough I see the Queen on my dollars every day?
I'm surprised you aren't being stampeded by the influx of English millionaires all leaving the UK to go and live somewhere else because our government seem to want to tax them to the eyeballs, but that's a different story altogether.
We're not going anywhere in politics or government today.
Are we not?
Print is enough of a conversation,
Isn't it,
right?
Justin?
It's a good thing. There
Right,
you
come
go.
on, carry on. Yeah.
All right. So welcome. We haven't spoken on a while. You were on the
Oof.
podcast maybe a while ago, like really a while ago. In any case, just to catch up with you, last time we spoke, you were with the company ASL. I'm just curious what happened because when you were there, you were like the guard at the door. Anyone says anything, you're like ready to take them down. I thought you owned the company actually. So when you weren't there anymore, I saw that. I was a little surprised. So what up?
I used to be a partner in a company called SmartPrint that ASL bought in 2019. The world fell apart in 2020. I'll never be that lucky ever again. But as part of the purchase, I was tasked to be with ASL for at least 2 years. I actually found them to be on the whole,
You were there for longer. You were like for 5 years or something.
Six, yeah.
Okay, minus.
I found them to be really nice, on the whole, really nice people and good to work with. And it was quite refreshing to deal with a company, to work for a company that big where they had very positive thoughts around their customers. But that changed. Some of the things they were doing didn't suit me. I didn't feel that they were as customer friendly as perhaps they might be. Some of the staff there in some of the senior positions, you wouldn't employ them. And that's life. That you just wouldn't.
So no, but let me ask you, like, no, I appreciate what you're saying, but like, what changed there? Ownership change, attitude? Did they run into some trouble? Like, what would cause a company to change those things?
I think the VCs wanted a tighter grip on the return of their investment, really.
Well, hang on a second. VCs, you should have said that right away. We knew they're fucking doomed.
There you go.
Most of the time those companies get involved, they first of all, if you're an owner and you could sell to a VC, kudos to you. That's your golden parachute. You suck out of them as much as you can because when you sell your company, they're going to try to suck the most out of you, regardless of what they tell you, right?
Allegedly.
Okay, so you don't have to say anymore. They just weren't happy with their return and they're just trying to squeeze some more out. Okay, that's fine. So forgetting that, then I see you wearing a shirt and I saw on LinkedIn, ConnectPrint. What is that?
ConnectPrint is the baby of a chap called Warren Werbitt. He used to be an owner of Xerotech. Xerotech were I don't know if they still are, but the largest Xerox concessionaire in the UK. And at one point, Warren was a part owner in that. He had health issues that took him out. He sold his shares, had a few years of just not doing it. But like we all are, you feel it pull you back in after a period of time. And he set up ConnectPrint last year with a guy called Jason Bryan. Jason is a very intelligent, technically minded salesperson. He does great impressions of virtually everybody. He's very, very funny guy to be with. So between the three of us, you've got one sharp businessman that is Warren, one clever salesperson that is Jason, and one a grouchy old bastard that is me. So there you go. Yeah.
Love it. And what are you carrying? Are you carrying all lines or all companies?
Primarily, we sell Konica Minolta, Kia Ceera, and Ricoh. We have access to Xerox through a third party who supply we've got access to Xerox, we've got access to all of them really. But the issue you have is what's right for the customer. And you can dilute your own portfolio as much as you want. At some point, if you haven't got the right bit of kit, you've got to put your hands up and say, I'm sorry, Mr. Customer, I can't do that. But Billy Bob down the road can.
Yeah, well, okay, so that's salespeople. Hang on, but I have a question. Can you explain to me, because I can't never wrap my head around it. You have the OEMs selling directly, and then they have all these distributors set up in the same areas selling. What am I missing? How does it work? Like, what's
The
the deal?
OEMs don't want to employ salespeople, is the truth, because a salesperson in the UK has a book value to each OEM of about £100,000. And that £100,000 is that salesperson's basic salary, company car, holiday cover, sickness cover, and everything else that they care to pay for them. They've got to, every time they've got a salesperson, they've got 100 grand on their bottom line. Whether they pay that person that or not is fun. And a lot of salespeople earn a lot more because they earn more through commission. But that's a different thing, because you're earning commission off a profit of a sale. So it's not a cost to the business. If you take a concessionaire or a dealer network, that £100,000 cost is transferred to the owner of the dealer network. Now, what it means from an OEM point of view is they get more penetration into the marketplace for less cost. So somebody else is employing them. Somebody else is paying their holidays in their car. It doesn't cost the manufacturer as much. So what do manufacturers do? They have two pricing structures. One for the direct sales force that always has a minimum sale price on it. And guess what that minimum sale price is covering? And one for the dealer network that doesn't have a minimum sale. So the most common thing people say to me is, how come you're cheaper than the manager, than the OEM?
Yeah, that was my next question.
They ain't paying they're not buying my car, are they? They're not paying for my car. I am. It's a different thought process altogether.
So, would it be safe to say that everybody should call dealers instead of the OEMs direct?
Two responses to that. One guy said to me last year, I only buy from manufacturers. And I wanted to say to him, why? Do you like wasting money? But I didn't. I just let it go. There are some loyalty things that you get with manufacturers that,
like what?
They involve you in there. So Xerox had a Premier Partners club and things like that, and they have these little organizations.
Hang on, I was 6 years part of it. Tell me what the benefit is.
No, you tell me, because you were in there for 6 years. It must have made a fortune for your business.
Okay, so you
There
want
you
to
go.
be you.
That's
hang
my
on,
point.
hang on.
That's
Wait
my
a second.
point.
Wait a second. I'm going to tell you about the Xerox Premier Partner user group. I'm happy you asked that question, because, oh my God, I actually made some of my best friends in the Premier Partners group. I didn't do another ounce of business because of it. There is no, or very little or minimal, sharing of work amongst customers, maybe on different sides of the water. Someone has a request. But truth is, when Xerox called me at the time and asked me if I wanted to be part of represent Canada as the Premier Partner Associate, my first thought was, God, what's that going to be? And then the smart side of me said, ask some questions. So I asked some questions. And the first question I said was, what's the expectation of me as the representative? And, they said, well, there's a couple calls a year. There is, the annual couple calls. They go, and then we have a meeting once a year in a different location. This one's in Madrid. I said, I'm in. Right. So I'm in. And before I said in, I said to them, to the person, I said, the reason I'm asking you what's involved is because I want to know, because I'm 100% committed person. And if you tell me what's involved and I can't give 100%, then I can't participate. And that was my way out. But the minute they offered travel, I'm in. And so we had a couple calls. Nothing really happened. I was at the time the Xerox poster boy because of the Xerox 4 Diamond and then buying the first iGen 5, blah, blah, blah. And I did that a couple of years. And what was nice was you got to go to a couple different countries. I got to sit at the time with the president of graphic arts. I got to then, meet the CEO and let him know who I was. Or at the time, actually, Ursula, but I got other Ursula stories. And then, so did that. And then I met Yaron from Jubal's and Mark Serbian from Florida. And we became like the Three Musketeers. And it's a 2-year term, right? But after the first year, there was a change of people in Canada. And I just met the person. And when I called them up just to see who he was, what they're doing. And I said to him, hey, by the way, I said, I know I'm in a 2-year term, but we just started this new process and I'd like to get an extension so I could follow through and see the completion. And he said, that would be a great idea because I'm new here. And I got 2 more years of traveling to other countries once a year. That was the big benefit for me personally, and meeting some people. But it's all crock of shit, right?
Finished?
Yes, 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 yes. I always like telling those good stories. But
So,
yeah,
but the reality is, from what you've just said, certainly with the Premier Partnership network within Xerox, it was a network and it did allow people to talk with other printers, to listen to each other's ideas. And as a result, things did get better within Xerox because they took those ideas from customers. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Where does it stop? It doesn't stop. It keeps going, and long may it continue. I don't have access to that. I'm a dealer. Should dealers have them? Yeah, not really. We don't need them. That's what the manufacturers do. The manufacturers make it all look pretty. We just make it work. We just sell it.
I think the dealers could have their own little customer gatherings, right?
They don't trust each other. There are people I've known for 30 years. I would trust them not an inch. I'll have a beer with them, but I wouldn't give them a fiver. And you shouldn't feel that way, should you?
No, I like to think that anyone I'm talking to, and I'm not telling anybody anything ever. That's proprietary, period. So whatever, but you get the best things when you're with people. Listen, I speak with a lot of printers, and I could tell you, I have a conversation with a printer, and then the printer and I could be sitting down, and the OEM could be there, and the printer does not say the same thing, like a chicken shit, right? And I say that because I part of me is I want printers to remember that they are the customer. The OEMs need them more than they need the OEMs because there's more OEMs to choose from.
Certainly now, in a declining market when printers are being bought by each other all the time. I mean, this morning, I've been on the phone a lot this morning. I have 3 companies that have told me they're interested in selling. Can I find buyers for them?
Well,
in one morning, you know?
Yeah, well, they keep reading what the guy next door got, and they're thinking, "Shit, I better try and get it before it's too late." I have a question, and I'm trying to. I hear different people say different things, but explain to me, because you're on the equipment side. Fuji, Xerox, and Sharp, same box,
Mm-hmm.
right? One company says we up our software. One company says we have relations with the finishers that no one else could put on the machine because we have patents. The other says this, but what is it? It's the same machine.
BMW, Volkswagen. What is it? No, it's not. Sorry. Audi, Volkswagen, and Skoda. What is it? Same car.
Correct.
Same car. It's got a different bonnet on it. It's got a different badge on it. Oh, no, but ours has got oh, fuck off. It's exactly the same. Take the covers off. It's the same piece of kit. Now, the different manufacturers will argue and they'll say, I'm talking rubbish there and he's wrong because of X, Y, Z. And probably I am, but I've yet to see any discernible difference that has made me stand up and say, wow, you're the printer. What do you want as a developer?
I'm a printer.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the 3 machines.
Yeah.
Is one of them going to print better color than the other?
No.
Are any of them faster than the others?
No.
Any of them have a bigger sheet than the others? Do the rips make a difference from any of them? Because all your shit gets ripped through anyways.
It's all the same. There is a slight difference in colour, by the way. Currently, Fuji have launched green on their machines, at which the Xerox have not yet launched. So there's a slight advantage. But that advantage will only last so long.
Hang on. Green. Big fucking deal. Fluorescent pink, unless you're working for the Breast Cancer Society, honestly, how many people are wanting fluorescent pink? And by the way, I'm a lover of pink. It's my branded color. So even the book is pink. So it's not like I'm shitting on pink, right? Actually, funny story with the pink. And by the way, this pink is done in 4-color process because when the book was done, I called Rico and asked them if a show that they would print this using the 5th color pink, 300 sheets, and I would promote it as the 5th color, and they blew me off. So 4-color CMYK gives you pink. And if you use Mark Jeeves software.
So that's exactly what my next stage was going to be. You were going to talk about green and color. Take Touch 7. Import Touch 7 into any CMYK printer, inkjet, toner, whatever the hell you want. And the gamma, poof.
So let me ask you this. And I know Mark.
Mark is a lovely fellow, and his software is fantastic.
Not to mention he's the king of color going way back when, right? Because he sold his original company. But so why Okay, so he has a couple different things that he's selling in terms of his software and color. And first of all, his online viewing system is free. It's crazy. It's all part of it. But why then do all the manufacturers in digital not include his software for a few $100s a year or a month or whatever it is to allow their customers to get the biggest gamut and range of color?
Why do you think?
I'm asking you.
Most salespeople don't even know it exists. They're too lazy to think about it, and they can't be bothered looking into it. And if you do look into it, most salespeople are too lazy. Yeah, they are. They're too lazy to make time to invest
No,
to
but
find out what's
why?
right for the end user.
That's not what. No, what I'm asking is, why does the head of the OEM product development for each machine make a deal with them and include it, because what it's capable of is off the charts?
Sorry, hang on. Are you suggesting that a head of an OEM introduces a product into the sales cycle that is not revenue for himself?
No, what I'm saying is they buy it from No, what I'm saying
Listen
is
to
they
what
buy
I
it.
said to you.
Yes, I hear you, but they buy it from Color Logic. I should have wore his Color Logic T-shirt, but they buy it from Color Logic and then just work it in with the cost of the machine. It doesn't have to be an extra.
I have a good friend called Kelvin Bell at VPress.
Who?
I'll tell you. He'll read this, he'll hear this, and he'll be coming to get you. Kelvin and I,
Get in line, by the way. Everybody's coming to get me, but nobody shows up.
We're having a get together in a few weeks' time to crystallize the ConnectPrint approach to the marketplace, and I think it's very likely that we'll be including an aspect of VPress with every print engine. Because why would you sell somebody a printer without giving them some online ability? And Touch
Right.
7 is obvious.
Right.
I need you've done me a favor there, because I really need to catch up with Mark and talk to him about that. Because why wouldn't we? Because it's such a beautiful piece of software, and when the effect
By the way,
stunning.
his and whoever's listening, I'm not pitching him, even though
Hang
I
on.
think he's awesome. But I think and I don't pitch anyone just because of them. But I take him and put him with what they've created. Their company is working with all of the brands, the
Yeah.
Palmolives or the Colgates or the CPGs or the PPGs or whatever the hell you call all of them. So it's starting at the top level, right? Which means even if you're an offset shop, you want to have their software, because if you don't have it, you can't deal with some of the bigger ones. But why doesn't everybody learn from that, right? And again, you just mentioned you throwing in, Kevin's stuff for a solution. If I'm buying equipment, I would love that, knowing that you guys or the OEMs have done it, road tested it, it works, instead of sending me the box and I'm going to look at 4 different vendors to figure out which one I want and then have to work through all the bugs and bullshit after. I don't get it.
It's not hard, really, is it?
No,
It's just not hard. Thank you for the
and
reminder. I need to catch up with Mark. I think ConnectPrint should become a UK distributor of Touch 7. There you are. I said
he
it
has
publicly on the 17th of July.
He has a partner in the UK, Richard. But
Richard, I know, and it's Richard
right.
or Mark. Richard's another lovely guy. Yeah.
So, but again, why I don't understand why the OEMs they talk about their customers and making it easier, but they could do team ups beforehand and ensure that things work so that when they do a pickup and a drop install, everything's ready to go.
Can you do me a favor?
You want me to send you his contact?
I want you to do me a really good personal favor.
Yes.
I've got Mark's contact. I want you to not tell the OEMs about what you just said, because I really don't need their salespeople getting clever. I'm happy with them stupid. I don't want them to learn shit. All right, let's keep them. Ignorance is bliss as long as it's somebody else's. Let's leave it where it is.
Hello. Don't worry, they already know about it and forgot about it. Listen, I go to a print show and Rico and others have him in the booth, but they're not pushing it. And again, they should just buy the fucking thing and install it and put it in, and or even pay for the first year's license. And then I think, what is it, $800 a year? Like,
it's not a lot of money.
People spend money on the dumbest things and the smartest things that don't cost so much. They hem and they haw. It literally takes 1 or 2 jobs and you're laughing your head off. Right? Or with their viewer, if you avoid a mistake, what's the cost of mistakes when you're doing metallics and everything else? It's kind of just nutty out there. How's the print world in the UK?
It's interesting. You know, we set up this venture called Young People in Print. It's
Yes,
now been
actually, we spoke about that last time.
it's actually been expanded now to Young People in Print and Packaging, and the industry has really got a grip of it. Because it is a crucial time. The chair of the board of YPIP is a lady by the name of Joanna Stevenson. She runs an organisation called Think to B2B. She's a marketing lady, and
Any
she
relation to Mark?
no relation at all. And she talks about when she's talking about the problems in UK print, she looks me right in the eye and says, the problem with UK print is it's pale, male and stale. And always stares at me when she says, I know what she's saying. It's hurtful. But she's right.
I thought that was your line.
No, it's her line and she's right about it.
I love the line.
We've got a new little project that we're rolling out now. This is a cracker. And it's called Love Our Landmarks. And what we're going to do is we're going to interact with local schools and colleges. Warren Werbitt printer in Pennsylvania will find 10 schools or colleges near to you with up to 20 students each one that are interested in graphic design. Create a postcard, picture of your favourite landmark on it. Wish you were here. On the back, write my favourite landmark. Well, most kids don't know what postcards are, but they're going
landmarks.
to find out. Or landmarks. And then they've got a space on the right to write the name and address of the granddad and send it to him. Simple process, simple engagement with print companies and their local educators that will break down that barrier and introduce sector to people and vice versa, and hopefully get rid of pale, male and stale and replace it with handsome young blades like yourself.
Well, I'm not so pale because I got no hair, but I even in print companies, I'm encouraging a lot of owners to have 'cause there's a lot of talk with young people and how to interact or what to do. And I say to people like, my God, I said, like, I'm looking at your marketing's awful. I said, why don't you go around the company, find some young people, offer up something for them to engage on social media with about your company. First of all, you're gonna empower them to have a say. They're not going to do anything bad because they don't want to get paid for their job. You can give them a little extra, but make it fun. And then when they start doing the fun things or they start jumping off a machine, which we would never think of, they're attracting their peers, right? I see it now. Like, actually, I'll just use me as an example. I was hanging out the other day with some folks that happened to be 40. And I have no problem staying up until the last wee hour and have the last drink at the bar and leave. But I realized hanging with them that, like, I'm only good to a certain point. And then I got to step back and and not engage with them and let them run. Right. And in our industry, we have too many pale, stale white males who just don't want to give up a step.
Yeah.
And are pushing it.
Yeah.
I think today we need I love it. I'm going to make a t-shirt, the white, pale, male, stale. I'll come up with a whole variation of it. But owners have to take some of them and make them mentors within the company to start passing on the information that no one knows or remembers. The whole thing of AI is great because even at companies, you have a problem, computer by the press, you're set up with AI, you input all the problems, you input the resolutions, and then next time someone has a problem, it's there. Our industry as we know it, it's walking around with everybody with this up there. There's nothing on paper. There's nothing for anybody to see when they move on. Right? So anyway, I think there's so many ways that we could deal with the young people and make it fun. First of all, you have to laugh every day. The one good thing that the young people have taught us, there's no need to work 7 days a week. It's not worth it. We're on a planet for a short time. So do the work right, get it in, and then fuck off and enjoy some time. Right? I also don't buy, young people don't want to work. They want to work when they have the right work and they're engaged in a good way. People say I'm crabby. I'm not crabby. I just don't want to work with fucking people who make me sick and don't do anything and sit down and just complain and whine.
There's an organisation called Unsnoozed. 2 young ladies out of Amsterdam that run this.
Unsnoozed?
Are you taking a mickey out of my accent?
No, I'm trying to understand what you said. I can't, it's the accent.
Unsnoozed. Unsnoozed.
Okay, I spelt it right.
Look them up. You'll find them on my LinkedIn profile. But those girls, they've created a card game, which is effectively the communication tool between old blokes and young people. So what I'm thinking about something, how somebody else sees it. It's an absolute beauty. And I tell you what, you could do a lot worse than getting hold of those two and getting them on.
Yeah, I'm gonna go look them up.
I'll send you an introduction afterwards.
Okay, cool.
No names. I'll send you introduction.
Young people in print, tell me more about it. Tell me about the people that are engaging. What do they see? What do they want? Do they like the industry? Like, you get good, honest feedback?
It's now young people in print and packaging. We have to add that
Sorry.
in. But the easiest way of saying it is YPIP. Just say YPIP. It's so much easier.
Why?
So where we've had open days and we've had young people into print companies or into manufacturers for that matter, they've been fascinated. No idea that print is that, you know. We've also had people that work for government officers and teachers as well who are hosting these kids and taking them around saying, hey, how do I get a job doing this? This is cool. And it's not until people come in and see what some print companies produce and they make the association between the iPhone box with a name on it and who produced it and all that kind of stuff. It's not until they make a link that print actually means anything for them. The printing companies themselves, we've had quite a few that have had hosted visits. And I think they relish it. Some relish it, the idea of getting young people in and encouraging them to join a sector which, again, is aging. It has to be done, whether you want to do it or not, it has to be done. But we've been very lucky that the people that have got involved in it have been positive, proactive people. And there's some beauties. There's a company called Micropress in Suffolk, and the lady that works there, Susan Tyrrell, she goes out to schools on a regular basis and talks in class about an industry that they don't have a clue about. And she's really passionate about the industry, but she's equally passionate about encouraging young people to look at something different. And that's what makes a difference. So whatever me and the rest of the YPIP gang think or say, we're just a conduit. We're just a link to get people talking, but it's going amazingly well.
Good. I love to hear it. It's
Say that with
great.
some sincerity if you can.
No, because you got I do love to hear it. I'll tell you why I'm just looking to kind of set something up. I don't know if I'm going to show it or not, but I think about these print companies. And I'm thinking right now, I'm just thinking about marketing, right? The print companies, do they do a lot of marketing? Any of them?
50. No, actually, no. 30-70. 30% of them are good at marketing. The other 70% are a little bit lost.
So I've been looking I'm always looking at different company websites. I'm looking at company videos just to see what people are doing. Cause I think back to what I did before it was popular and whatnot. And there's some great ones out there, but there are more awful ones. And I am so upset. And I'm going to tell you, last night, I'm almost embarrassed to say it, but I'm lying in bed and I'm looking at YouTube and up comes a print company. So I turn it on, I start looking at it, right? Like 11 o'clock, I'm watching print company. Do I need a life or what? And I'm like, oh my God, that's not so great. Anyways, I go to the description and I see it's from 2015. So I feel better. I was making a judgment call on something I shouldn't have. And I could admit that as I mature. But then I click on the next one and I'm dying. Okay. First of all, the person I'm lying in bed with is like, why are you watching print videos at 11 o'clock at night? And that's a whole other conversation. Anyways, I'm watching the video. First, I go to the description because I'm thinking, oh, if that one was from 2015, this one's from 2008. No, this one's from 2 weeks ago. Machines, bad looking shop, speeds, best ideas for saving customers money, nothing about their people, nothing about solutions. And I am losing my fucking mind because our industry today is about solutions and people. And so I turned to the person in bed with me, and I said, hey, would you buy from that company? Watching the video. First she said, that's a little long, that video. It was 5 minutes and 3 seconds, right? And she goes, I don't give a shit about equipment. If I need something, I want to buy what I need, speak to the people. I don't care how they make it. This company's talking about double bagging or die cutting. And first of all, the equipment they're showing isn't even that nice. So at the end of the day, I'm actually going to do a little video on it. And I don't want to call them out for say, because I don't want to make disrespect, but they did put it on YouTube and it is public now. So I guess I could do a critique. And What's wrong with our industry?
I don't know, because I see this all the time in proposals from people that are suggesting equipment, and they talk about the feeds and speeds and everything else like that. It's a my dad's bigger than your dad mentality. Do you remember back in schoolyard? Kid pushes you, you push
I
me.
was thinking of another mentality, but anyways, yeah.
Yeah, kid pushes you, you push him back. If you get me, I'm going to get my dad on you, and my dad's bigger than your dad. Yeah. Get the smart dad. Get the smart dad to sort it out. And smarter is better than size and speed, and that there is a problem. But the industry is bewildered, totally bewildered and obsessed by tin, tin.
No, but so it's. I'm gonna say let's not go back too long. 15 years of talking about marketing, talking about change, talking about what we need. How is it that a good percentage is so stuck?
Because not everybody does it. The ones that it's very difficult. I wouldn't if to be a printer right now. I mean, and there's a guy that lives not too far from me, and he's a good friend. And I've watched him get rid of his offset press. He's now digital only. And I said
Why?
to him afterwards, I said, Ian, how do you feel now that you've got no offset? He said, you know that he's a small business and he outsources what he does. But he said to me, do you know, the weird thing is I can come to work in my best jeans and I don't have to worry about ruining them. What a great comment. He now employs his daughter and another young person, and those young people are changing how his business is, and they're going to get a grip of marketing in the minds of young 20-somethings, not the minds of this thing or my friend Ian. They see it and do it different than you and I. So you might think they're not marketing. Maybe they are. Maybe they just got a more subtle way of doing it. I don't know. But here is the problem. He is a small business with a limited time to affordability and limited budget. He can't go employing marketing companies to do it properly, and he doesn't really have the time to sit down and work it all out.
Right. But today you don't need a marketing company.
No,
actually, I'm gonna put a link up when I put the post for an AI company called Ad Legends. They're wiping out the agency world. You go in, you put in whatever you want. It could help you. You don't have to have a lot of money to do marketing. You put out some good video. You find the people in your shop to help you. You just make some samples that you mail out of what you're printing. If you're a print company, you probably deal with some designers. You could easily make a deal with them and say, I'll give you $3,000 of printing, give me $3,000 of design. Everybody should know when you barter, you don't negotiate the barter price. Barter price is barter price. But there's so many things you could do, right? I don't understand it. All these people also going into digital that have offset. If you're smart with offset, you make a lot of money. Digital, you're always paying the OEM. I don't care. 4 plates, big fucking deal, $40. 500 sheets, you need 8 lots, 500 sheets. It's more money in your pocket than there is if you go digital. I don't care what anybody tells you. And especially when you own the machine. That's the other thing. When the digital guys come in to do ROIs, and with me, they want, what do you do on that machine? None of your fucking business. It's an offset machine. Don't go there. Right?
Yeah.
So there's not a whole, all that other stuff. But no, the marketing's good. I just think we have to empower the young people to run with it.
Confidence is also an issue. A lot of people don't actually realize they're as good as they are. They don't realize just how good they are. And that
took me a long time to realize how good I was.
Lack of self-awareness or lack of confidence is a killer.
Right.
It can be a killer. But how do you change that? It's not my job to make other people more confident. But
first of all, you have to learn the walk, right? You have to learn the walk. And I laugh at that because how did I learn it? We have a comedy festival here one year and it's 2 weeks long, and a friend calls me up and he says, hey, let's go to the gala. And the gala's at the end. And he had a pass and everything. And then we get together and we're going. And he says, by the way, listen, he goes, I don't have tickets for tonight. And I go, what do you mean you don't have tickets for tonight? Why are we going? He goes, listen, it's all in how you walk. I go, what do you mean? He gives me the lanyard. He said, first, tells me, he goes, wear a pocket shirt. I go, pocket shirt? Fine, I wear a pocket shirt. Gives me the lanyard. He goes, leave the lanyard on. Says just for laughs, whatever. He goes, put the thing in your pocket. I said, okay. He goes, follow me. I'm like, great. Blind following the blind. Go to the back door, knocks on it. Guy opens the door. He goes, yeah. He goes, we're like, here. Okay, we go in. We go in, we're in the back room with the comedians. I stick my head at the curtain on the stage. The whole audience is out there, and I'm like snacking with the comedians in the buffet. And then I'm sitting behind the guy filming the show. My buddy looked at me, goes, "It's all in the walk,
Confidence is king.
all in the walk." I don't know if I do that again, but you'll learn it there. Just, I think we have a great industry. How do we get it rolled up? How do we, you go to a lot of the shows in the UK.
Trying not to, because the shows are crap. They lie. They lie about the footfall. They all say they had great footfall. The reality is, if you're on the show and you go out to the loo, they scan you going out to the loo, they scan you coming back in. All right, stop telling me you've had 6,000 visitors. Tell me how many unique visitors who were not part of a show or a stand you had. 1,200. Yeah, okay, all right. That's a bit shit, isn't it? For 3
Well,
days.
I don't care for the numbers, because it's not about the quantity; it's about the quality. So when I'm at a booth and somebody goes, "So can I scan your badge?" I'm like, "No." "Well, no, we'd like to scan your badge." I go, "You don't understand. I'm never buying a fucking piece of equipment. I'm not a lead." And the person I go, "Okay, fuck, scan." I go, "You know what? I have 2 cards. Scan them both." But when I talk to people and I say to them, "How good was the show for you? How many leads? How many good conversations?" I like shows because most people generally have, a bunch of those. And when it's not too crowded, they have better conversations with the people they want, and,
But all
you know,
they're doing is just encouraging the myth even further. Heavy footfall means lots of leads, means lots of sales cycles. Not if some of those leads are somebody who said, "Scan my badge twice because I couldn't
right,
give a
right.
fuck." That's just a waste of time.
Right. No, I like the shows, and I encourage printers to go to as many shows as they can, for the simple reason that you cannot learn and see new things or ideas when you're in your office stuck in the, you know, stuck in the war. And we learned that COVID that you can leave your office. And if you go to these shows, it's nice to see old friends, but if you could find 1 or 2 ideas to take back, the show's worth it. The other thing with the shows is that I want to encourage owners is, if you're taking some people from the office, kudos to you. If you're not taking anybody, shame on you. Why? Because when you take people, this is what happens. First of all, when you go to a show, no owner ever comes back and gathers the troops to tell them what he saw, what he learned, or anything. It's as if he was just away for the weekend. When you encourage someone and you bring them with you, number one, you're letting them know you notice them. You're letting them know that they exist. You're letting them know that you value them, because you've now invested some money in them by taking them. To anyone who says you can't afford it, bullshit. You make thousands of dollars of mistakes every day in your shop. You just haven't figured out where yet. And if you want, call me. I'll come in and help you for a small fee. But it's not about that. Then the people go to the show. They could barely sleep because they're so excited, because they haven't been to a show and they're seeing all this stuff. But more importantly, they come back to your office and help you build a better culture, because they grab everyone around, they get them excited, and they push the ideas. Because the old pale, white, stale male, I like that one, isn't going back to the shop to do that. So by going and bringing them, you're actually investing in the culture of your business and the people for a better return.
Hallelujah, brother. Are we related?
Well,
I think we must
well,
be.
I think the DNA company went bust that was doing all
Yeah.
that stuff. So we'll never really know.
It's everything you said, I completely agree with. Encouraging young people, encouraging your own staff, showing them what's new. Shows I have a love-hate relationship with. I see the value. Sometimes I just get irritated by somebody asking me to pay 20 quid to park my car for a day.
Well, unfortunately, that's the business side.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and the shit side to that is the convention centers charge a lot of money because of thanks to the unions.
Yeah. On the other side, again, Kelvin and I, we're planning to do some localized events with multiple manufacturers and multiple finishers and multiple softwares, taking it out to the customers so they don't have to come. And they will be application based. So we're not talking about, here's a fast piece of tin that prints this or a bit of software. No, no. Here's a particular job. We'll show you how it's done from soup to nuts, and you can work it out yourself. At different type, because applications are what people sell and what they make money out of. They just don't all know how easy it is.
But yeah, people make things a lot more complicated than they have to. So there's another thing that I was just thinking of. You have a lot of customers that are just online or that do a lot of online selling?
Yeah, there are people that do a lot of online selling.
So to the people online, and I've gone out to do a bunch of quotes for different things and different reasons, and I'm curious as to why nobody ever calls to follow up or ask. Fear of
Fear.
what? Fear of
Fear.
what?
Rejection.
You've done the quote online. Don't you want to know who I am?
You see, it sits on somebody's prospect list. I've got this great prospect called Warren. He's asked me for these. Yeah. When you follow it up, I'll follow it up next week. Okay, so it's on your prospect list. It's not a prospect. It's not a sales cycle until you pick up the damn phone, give Warren a bloody good listening to, and find out if you got anywhere near his touch points. And if you didn't, take it off your bleeding list and go and find somewhere else. And if you did, skim for the order. Is it good enough, Warren? Is it what you want? Is that exactly what you need? When are you going to buy it? When are you going to buy it? Answer me. Tell me now. When are you going to buy it?
So when I did the book, whoops, can't even, the book is so hot still, I can't even hold it. So when I did the book, which by the way, sales have been lagging. So anybody who wants to go out and buy it, I would appreciate it because I'm hungry, but not that hungry, but brother, it's,
I have mine. I have my signed copy, and I'm very privileged to have a copy signed by the author.
I'm happy that you appreciate it.
And every time you tell somebody and somebody says they've got their book, I can't help but poke the bear by saying, did he sign it? No, sign mine.
Hey, listen, if people want it, they can buy all the books from me and I'm happy to stay home and sign them,
Sign them.
but okay. And with that, I forgot my thought. What were we saying?
You see, that's because that's
the
classic,
old stale mail.
There you go. That's a classic old mail. What did I come in this room for?
That's the beginning that's part-timers. I'm just starting the memory loss thing.
You think you need to learn to walk? Right now, you and I need to learn to handle a wheelchair because that's our future. We ain't gonna walk in anyway.
Yeah, no, it's so do you remember what we were just saying before I went to the book thing?
I don't even remember what I had for lunch. What are you on about?
Oh, I haven't had lunch. I just had breakfast.
What time is it there?
10:20.
Wow.
It's almost your afternoon. But there's just so many things. I think the industry's great. I just think I don't know why we take so long to do things, so long to change. There's so much talk that goes on about everything, right? And I'm just perplexed. I actually, this is another funny sales thing. I went to a company to go talk sales. Before I got there, decent sized company, big company, blah, blah, blah. Before I got there, I went on LinkedIn. I looked at all the salespeople's LinkedIn pages, right? I could have died, honestly. And I've told this story maybe 7 times before. I could have died. Okay. So I go to the meeting and I get up in the room and I stand there and I look at the room and I go, thank you for having me. I appreciate being here. I'm here to talk about sales, but there's only one problem. I don't think any of you are ready to be selling. I said, I went to all your LinkedIn pages. Shameful. I said, first of all, I'm going to call out Mark because you have a Gmail. Are you looking for another job? Because when I went to go get your contact to call you up at the company, I saw Gmail. My thought is, I'm not calling that guy. He's looking for a job. Why don't you have your company email there? Right? You folks talk about dealing with younger people. This is for everybody. You talk about dealing with younger people. Well, set up your LinkedIn page so it looks a little hip hop and young and you're doing something, and have some posts. Don't have blah, 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 and a bad picture of you and no contact information, because you've just told me that the young people are whippersnappers and they like to do things a certain way. You know they like texting. Why don't you have your phone number? Right?
Did you get any sense out of them, or did you just manage to alienate your audience?
I put myself in the corner again. That's why I'm so successful at what I'm doing. But you know what? I don't care, because I felt good to say it, because if I don't say it, I don't want to do or say anything I don't mean. Even if it gets me in trouble. That's why I wear smaller shoes, easier to get out of my mouth. Here, I want to touch on something else. So lately I've been working with this company and I've been reaching out to people that I know. And, I'll leave a message saying, hey, I need 10 minutes of your time. I've got something, honestly, you know me, I'm not going to waste it. I think you should see it. And then you decide if you want to have a conversation or not. I send an email, this and that. I don't get calls back. Right? And it's me. Listen, if you know me, I'm not fucking around and wasting your time. Actually, no, let me rephrase that. I'm not wasting my time first, selfishly. So there's that. Then I've been calling some companies. I'm doing the cold calling thing, right? And I actually like it. But I call and I get a receptionist and I ask for the president's email. And she says, I'm not authorized to give that to you. I said, I didn't ask for the president of the United States, right? I go, I just want to send him information. You won't give me his voicemail. You won't give me his email. Why don't you ask him this question? How does he expect his salespeople to be successful if they're calling people like him? What about karma? What about as a salesperson? I try to take every call except when it says spam. I try to return most calls. I'm not perfect by a long shot. I don't mind picking up the phone just to say, hey, yeah, no, not going to work for me. I'm not interested. LinkedIn, I get some solicitations. I'm happy to say not for me, but I appreciate the reach out. It's about putting positive energy, positive vibes out into the universe, right? And if you don't treat people the way you want to be treated, how do you expect your people to be successful?
And there is the problem that every salesperson encounters somewhere along the way, actually getting hold of that person who they've got a good idea to share with. But hey, perseverance.
So listen to these two things. And I'm having fun with these calls. I'm going to have all this new content to do soon. So there's one person I'm calling, absolutely has a need for what I want to talk to them about for 10 minutes. I've left numerous messages. I left a message where I said, you can speak with someone else to check me out if you want to know. And this is somebody in their peer group. And the person I'm giving them is highly respected person. And anyways, I don't get the call back for that. The other message I leave them is this. Hey, Jack, it's Warren again. I just want to let you know, I'm old school. This is not going to stop. I will be leaving messages every week until you take the phone. I hope you have a wonderful day. At least I'm going to have some fun and smile. Now, this is a better one. Now, I don't know. So there's a person that I had not met online. We had an online meeting that I know, showed them what I was talking about. They said, oh, not really for me, but I know two people that I think it's good for. And I said, great. She says, I'll make the referral. I said, great. So anyways, a week or two go by, nothing. I don't want to bother anybody. So I send an email. I don't get a reply to the email. So I wait a little bit because I don't want to be that guy. Send another email. Okay, no reply. Third time, I'm going to be that guy. So I send an email and I just say, I go, hey, Jack, listen, I just want to touch base. I hope all is well. You mentioned that you had a few referrals. Can you just give me the names? And when I call them and reach out, I'll mention that it came via you. And then I wrote, P.S. I'm not sure if you believe in karma, but if you, supply the two names, perhaps someone will supply your salespeople with two names. 10 minutes later, I had the reply email with the names. Now, I don't know if it's because of that. I'm going to pretend that it is because I like the way it sounds. But it takes 2 seconds for someone just to do something quick.
Email is a monster. You get no sense of emotion or joy from an email. But I always enjoy talking to you because I can feel your enthusiasm, I can feel your passion. And I like passionate, enthusiastic people. I like to think I'm one myself. And I like to think I give off the same positivity. That's maybe vanity or not, but it's just who I am. And you can't do that with email. I've never changed. My mantra is always the same. Go and visit your prospects, give them a damn good listening to, and everything will be fine. And be honest.
Yeah, for sure. So another sales thing. Somebody reaches out the other day and asked me if I could do 100 printed polo shirts. So I said, sure, because they say sure to everything. It's not that hard. I know people. And but so I get the email, whatever. I call them up and we're chatting and I'm asking a bunch of questions because I know the questions to ask because I don't want to waste my time. And one question I say to them is, how many people did you reach out to quote? And she says, lots. And I said, how many is lots? Because now I'm intrigued, right? I don't know what that means today. And she says, 20. And I said, 20? I said, I'm respectfully going to have to bow out. I said, because with 20, it becomes a price game. You're not going to know me. And my chances have now been diminished. So I'm not interested. And she said to me, I would really like for you to participate. And I said, why? She said, you're the only person to call me back.
I don't have a
Yeah,
problem with
yes,
competition.
yesterday I dropped off a sample of whatever, and it's a $7,000 order. Did two things. She's happy. And by the way, when I was there, I used it as an opportunity because the marketing guy came out to see what else I could potentially talk to him about. It's not hard, people.
So what did you do? You picked up the phone and you gave her a listening to.
Call everybody, yeah.
Yeah, it's not hard. But please, can you edit this bit out? Because I do not want my competitors to start doing that. I'm happy with their stupidity and their ignorance. Please don't go encouraging them to do things right.
They're not.
God's sake.
Wait, then she said, can I get the samples printed on the shirts? And I said, no. I said, I'll do this first because no big deal. I said, the only way I can make you a printed sample is if I have the purchase order for the whole order. You're not held to it if you don't like the sample, but I know that's your commitment to me, that we're going to go forward and do this because I've been around too long, watched too many runnings, not interested. Bottom line is, I'm right there. They're thrilled and they're thankful. And I get to meet, when I went there, a couple other people at the reception desk. You're not doing that on your email. I want to get, I remembered the book. It came back to me.
What, have you written a book? You've never mentioned it.
I never mentioned the book that I wrote.
No.
Well, I didn't really. It's a great cover. The inside is blank. The inside's blank.
It looks quite pink.
And there's only there's 11 pictures, so there's not so much reading.
Listen, I've read that, and you write. I've read yours and I've read Joanne Gore's, and you both write the way you speak. It is frenetic from front to end. And I thoroughly recommend anybody that hasn't read it, just read it. Just read it.
Should I do the audiobook?
Read it. You will understand who this lunatic really is. Just read his book.
Should I do the audiobook?
No. Why would you do that?
Well, I wouldn't do it. I'd have somebody else with a better voice read it.
Exactly. Why would you do that? Unless it's you that's saying it, it's not you that's saying it. You can't pay an actor to be Warren Werbitt.
No, do you know how long it'll take me to read that book?
Who would you get to act for you? If somebody was doing your life, who would you play Warren?
Oh, my God. That's a good question. I'll have to get back to you on that one. Wow. Are they alive or dead?
Anybody you want.
Charles Bronson.
It's a bit tricky for somebody who's dead to play you in a film, though, don't you think?
No one's doing a film on me anyway, so they may as well be dead.
You don't know that. Somebody out there is going to watch this.
Well, if I had a choice, I mean, I like a Charles Bronson, old school, little Clint Eastwood, like a Matt Damon, right? Matthew McConaughey, but that's about it. On the girl side, no, I'm not going to go there, but it'd be inappropriate today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow. Okay, so we're coming up to the end, but anything else on your mind?
No, it's the weekend is coming up. We've got to calm down in the UK and not try to go to war with Argentina because of the sheet they held up at the end of the England game. I'll tell you one thing. So the England match, right? England, Argentina. Argentina won 2-1. England are out of the World Cup. There's been a lot of depression about it. Oh, we didn't get there.
We're in England?
Oh, it's not coming up. But here's the problem, right? People are not realising that those footballers, they got to the semi-final of the World Cup.
Hello?
Hey, come on! They got to the semi-final of the World Cup.
It's a sense of entitlement. It's not about the accomplishment. First of all, anybody who made it to the World Cup,
you made it there in the first place was pretty impressive.
Listen, you know what? A better one is this. Formula One, right? There's 22 drivers. I've been watching it since I had an afro, and I listen to people.
There must be a picture of that somewhere.
I listen to people talk, and they talk about the drivers, and if it wasn't for his daddy, and if he wasn't there, the bottom line is they all have F1 licenses. Doesn't matter who your dad is.
Yeah.
Bottom line, they're all F1 licenses.
They achieved the right to be there, and the England football team achieved the right to be there, as did Scotland. England got through to the semi-final of a World Cup. That's the top 4 countries in the world.
Wait, and then
that is stupendous.
And then I like the complaining about the bad ref calls, which generally over the course
about the referee.
No. At the end of the day, in every sport over the years, every team gets good calls and bad calls.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Period.
The referee
End of the story.
is
You don't get to pick and choose when they're coming.
the referee is the professional that is paid to make the decisions. I'm a rugby union man, and in rugby union, the referee is God. You don't get into any dissent with the referee because the referee's decision is final. And if you argue with the referee in rugby union, he has the right to say, right, back 10 yards and move the entire team back another 10 yards. You go shouting at a referee and losing 10 yards, the other 14 men on your team they're gonna bloody bludgeon you. Respect the ref, respect the decision, respect the winners, and have a bit more respect for yourself. And anyway, they got to the semi-finals. So that's good for me.
Yeah. We won't even touch all the people in the streets that are stupid, right? That's a whole other thing. Win or lose rioting, but that's the world. The world's in a crazy place, but we're going to leave that one for the next one.
Yeah.
But,
Maybe you
cool.
should put that in a book.
No, I don't know.
Well, that's an hour of my time that I'm never going to get back. I can think of
Actually, it's an hour, 20 minutes, because when we started, we had to start over because the computer crashed. So, you know, I'll send you a voucher. What?
It's gone quick, hasn't it? It's gone quick. That hour's gone quick.
Yeah, because you know what? It's a real conversation.
By the way, you remember the Crown Pub that we did in lockdown?
I do.
We keep getting people saying, when are we going to have a rerun? So I'm going to get together with Kelvin in a few weeks' time and just have a Crown Pub reunion. Do you remember at the one case we had, I think the biggest was
we were going twice a week.
84 people, but yeah, but it was fun. Getting people across the world drinking at 10:30 in the morning. What a result.
And because of that, I still do that.
Still, there's nothing wrong with that. Wake up and have a beer.
Drink at 10:30. Cool.
Warren, it's been an absolute delight as usual.
So we're gonna wrap it up, folks. I hope you enjoyed the conversation. If anybody out there just wants to have conversation, I am more than happy. If you have a topic, you could try to reach me. We could discuss it. Do watch all the other episodes because they're great. I think this one could be one of the better ones just because of the guests that we have. You know, I could barely sit up.
Well,
I guess I've had a few more pale, stale white males on, but this is the only one who's labeled himself that, which is okay.
I am what I am.
Paul, always a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Can I add a shameless plug that if you're in the UK,
go for it.
If you're in the UK, you're thinking about buying equipment, software or finishing, give ConnectPrint a ring. We're a little bit weird, but weird is good. All right, that's my shameless plug for myself and my comments.
Weird is real.
Yeah.
So you're guaranteed. By the way, if you call him, you're guaranteed to laugh, and everyone needs to laugh every day, right?
Completely honest. If you're not laughing, the biggest problem, if people can't laugh at themselves, they're fucked, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're really screwed. You can't have a good laugh at yourself.
Yeah. Oh, and go to the printwhisper.shop and buy I fucking love print if you really do love print. How's that?
Or what was that other T-shirt you were getting done?
Well, I got a lot of T-shirts.
You know, we talked about it earlier. See, we're old. We don't even remember what we said 20 minutes ago.
Well, that's because there's too much input.
Yeah.
Too much content today. Anyways,
have
everybody.
a lovely weekend.
Thank you again.